Hello, life people. Hello, replayers. Welcome. Well, we talked enough in the first class theme-wise, so today we're just going to get into it. I actually had a different class plan, but between talking to you guys and emails, everyone seems, not everyone, but enough people seem to either be having rest stuff or shoulder stuff. Not necessarily from handstands, but from life things, your jobs, some of them cleaning like me. So what I want to do is address that and begin with it. Because there's a hurricane here and I was doing cleanup, same thing. I started getting sore, which concerns me. Obviously, I use my hands to make a living. So I want to share a few things that helped me, and I hope they help you too. And then we'll ease our way into yin. So setting a timer for 1 minute, these you guys. Just grab the hand and you're not in a rush. Open it as much as you can. Take it sideways, then up. Go to the right as much as you can. Open it. Sideways, up. And keep going. So just like we're warming up in the first class, and I was like, my shoulders are a bit crunchy. Same thing, we look at the hips. How is the rest? How is your range of motion? And is it crunchy? Is it making any noise? And then notice too, like usually for me, the forearms are tight. And if the shoulder's tight, the rest, you'll feel it. Now let's begin to switch directions. So just open it. Go towards the right, up, left, then open, and continue. Also notice how, try not to move the elbow too much. I notice myself doing it. Just isolate the hand. See how you feel here. What do you know about the left side of your body? Is it more open or tighter? I'm always fascinated how different the body seems to be side to side. So these seem like slow and tedious. I swear it's save my rest. Do not overlook these. Watch the elbow and release. So yeah, do you feel some tension here? If it's tight here, it's gonna be tight here. Okay, other hand. I forgot to tell you, I'm also doing an ankle stretch. So I'm tucking my toes like this or like this. I'm not gonna make it mandatory. If you'd rather take a cross-legged position, you can. Otherwise, ankles at the same time. Okay, let's switch. So grab it and then go towards the left, forward. You're not rushing towards the right and your face. Keep going. So already I hear crunchiness. This hand doesn't want to open as much. How is yours? Saying crunchy, and now I'm craving Captain Crunch. I don't think I've had that cereal since high school. Watch your elbow. The more I learn about food, and the more I'm like, what is even safe to eat anymore? Now let's switch, you guys. So go towards the left, open it forward, the right, and up. So I'm really being mindful of not allowing my elbow to move. Again, if you're tighter, the rest will try to bypass this by moving the elbow. Wow, it's so interesting how it just doesn't quite open. And release. And then these, they're very simple but effective. So grab the left wrist with the right again. So if you can, take your middle finger and the thumb and then just start to circle. Same, is it a smooth thing? Is it cracking? Try not to involve the elbow. And then start to switch directions. Notice where you might try to cheat it. Can you go towards the right, down, forward? Oh, there goes my elbow again. And like the ankles, some students' ankles, when they circle, sounds like firecrackers. For some students, it does that on the wrist. How is yours? Release, and let's switch. So grab thumb and middle finger to the other one, and then just begin to go in one direction. Watch the elbow. And then notice, like when I go towards the left, I feel some pressure even in the shoulder. This is the side that I overuse and where my migraines are coming from. Investigate yours. And then now watch the elbow start to switch directions. How does it respond to that? So it's interesting, this side, I'm only feeling it on the outside of the wrist. What are the difference in yours? And then finish this one. Are you okay still with the feet? Do you need to make any changes here? The right hand palm up, just pull down. So I'll do this too. There's days where a lot of my time is spent on the computer, running the business side of things. This, take a time out, do this on the floor, on your desk when you're using the computer a lot. How far back can you take the fingers? Obviously being mindful. Then notice, how does the neck respond? Release. Do you need to take a second? Do you notice how it pulls into the shoulder? And switch. Left hand palm up, pull down. So do you hover like me on the computer? I'm always like, it's always one side and then the neck starts to go like that. Just be mindful how it affects the body. Pull the fingers. Breathe, especially inhales, because you're doing upper body stuff. And release. Okay, I can't take the ankles anymore, so I'm gonna take a cross-legged position. How's it going for you? Now, right elbow on top of the left. If it's too much, just hug yourself. We can all use a hug, otherwise keep going like this. Then with the left hand, setting our timer, start to pull it down. I love this when I need that shoulder release. At some point, your body will be like, I can't pull down anymore. Now, drop the head, so chin towards chest. Then begin to release it, so you're looking more towards the left. Close the eyes. Observe the body lifts a little on inhales. Should you exhale out of the mouth? 20 more seconds. I remember when I used to take Iyengar classes, we held this for 10 minutes. But it was amazing to see where somebody's left and right hand started, how high up versus going further down. And release. Before we switch sides, if you need to do something on your own, take a second. Otherwise, when you're ready, hands behind the head. Just let the head go back onto the hands, lift the chest. Take some inhales, take some exhales, let some life go. And then before we switch, when you're ready, let's twist. So right hand diagonal, I think of you, is gonna split the butt on fingertips, and then left hand across. Don't make the twist happen, just bend the elbow, here we are. Inhaling. Exhaling, twist a little more, watch the neck, inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, and on twist. All right, so if you're doing a cross-legged position, let's switch. And then hands forward. Each side is different. So as you take the left elbow on top, assuming you did the other side, should you hug yourself? Could you wrap? Setting our timer. So now the right hand is going to start to push down. Stop at that first place of resistance. Drop the chin towards the chest. And keep it or begin to release the head towards the right. Close your eye. Take the inhales, notice how the body responds. Fully exhale does that mean out of the mouth for you? I love practicing with the eyes closed as much as you can, learning to pull your energy inwards. To create a stronger inner world that you can always go to when the external gets too loud. And let's release. Take a second, do what you need to. For me, it's just a circle with a little bit of a head release. And then from here, I'm going to return back to sitting like so. Do you want to make any adjustments in the lower body? I'm gonna do this from the back, but left hand, you're gonna take it like this. And then with the right hand, turn the thumb down, walk it up the spine, and then just lift your right shoulder up and back, you guys, so the little wings come together. This is fine. The ego is gonna wanna interlace. If you can interlace, cool. For me, that would be ego, so I would just keep it like so. More importantly is take that right shoulder up and back. Again, close your eyes. On the inhale, the chest lifts, the rib cage opens. As you exhale back down, notice how the body responds. Just keep that inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, exhale. Move with your own breath, not necessarily my count. Inhale, just guiding. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And release. So before you switch sides, what do you need? For me, I want two things. I'm gonna circle out the shoulder. I struggle more with this kind of rotation. And then I feel like I wanna just do one of these. So take what you need to. If this works for you, do it. So I first start here. Sometimes I do a block. If you wanna take it further back and lift the chest, do so. I wish there were classes that taught us how to breathe. It's something we need in life so much. And when you're ready, let's begin to switch. So right hand is just gonna go like this. This is a different rotation for the left hand. Turn the thumb down, walk it up. And just walk it, walk it, walk it. Tell the ego, hey, it's fine if I don't clasp. Lift the left shoulder up and back. Setting our timer. Like we talked about in the first class, making everything work towards your dreams, your goals. So as you close the eyes, tune into the breath. Learn that you don't have to engage in every thought. Let it come, let it go. So we inhaling up, did the chest lift, the rib cage open. Pausing for a second, exhaling back down. Pausing, filling up inhales. Exhale as you're ready. Inhale. Notice the expansion of the body. Exhale, letting go. One more, inhaling. Exhaling. And release. Okay, take a second. Do you need the same thing for this side? I want to roll the shoulder. So the next thing we're gonna do for me was not a joyful pose. Watch your attitude. If you're feeling tension, know that you can expand, so breathe. This is the setup. You're gonna take your right hand to the ear like this, and then take your left hand up. From here, turn it away and bend it at the elbow. This is gonna take a second, you guys. Walk it up so you can't anymore and keep it open. For some people, the hand may need to move a little sideways, so you'll know once you go back. Once you go back like so, this is where you may have an ouch moment. Take the right hand into cactus. You gotta take the watch off to time it. And then you get to the side. When I did this, I was so tight that taking the feet together, knees wide, was just too much, so I didn't. Hands into cactus. The first thing I want you to do is, could you release the head towards the left? Does it feel better for you to have it neutral or to the right? So explore. Left, neutral, or right. And it could be that you start one way and then switch. Now, if you are fine and you want to do feet together, knees wide, go ahead. For me, I want to scream so that wouldn't settle. What I'm going to do is just take the right leg into a half butterfly and extend the left leg to straight. Does this work for you? Now let's close the eye. Same thing. Can you take inhales, noticing the rib cage widening, the chest lifting? Pausing for a second, can you exhale back down the body? Continuing this play, inhaling up. Pausing, exhaling down. The bottom of the exhale, could you push out more breath? Yes, you can. Pause. Continue inhaling up. Exhaling down. Think of your breath like the soundtrack you're listening to. Inhaling. Exhaling. Continuing this play of breath. I think my mic blocks my breathing. So at the retreat, but also for a class, I'm gonna take it off so you guys can start to hear the breath. Can you make the inhale and the exhale even? It's okay if not, just begin to investigate. Thirty more seconds. If life is more, feels like at a breaking point for you, keep exhaling till the inhale it's ready to find itself. No need to rush. We're gonna slowly think about coming out. So if you are in feet together, knees wide, could you extend the legs? If you're doing one, like me, extend that. And then take your right hand overhead and just roll to that side, taking out your little left wing. Ouch. Take a second. Do you need just to take a second? Does that mean like what I'm gonna do is just circle out the shoulder? So I'm in a twist and I'm just circling. If this works for you, join me. If it doesn't, make a different decision. So let's do 3 circles one way, bringing some life back into that shoulder. And then when you're done, circle the opposite way 3 times. So I'd asked Leslie in the first class, does she know where the headache or migraine was coming from? Mine, the pinpoint was the left shoulder blade pulling into the neck, my jaw into my eyeball. Let's go back to lying onto your back. So just know, you guys, when you have migraines, could you sometimes spot them in the shoulders? They don't always come from there, but a lot of times they do. And let's switch sides now. Left hand rested, right hand up. Turn it away, bend it at the elbow, and then just take your time to manually walk it up. Keep the hand open and know you may have to move it towards the right and the left for your shoulder. Start to go back. I don't overuse the side of my body, I overuse my left. So this for me was more pleasurable. How is it for you? Take the left hand into cat. Then explore, how is the side? Do you want the head to the right? No, and you can always switch. Do you want it centered or to the left? Once you've settled on the upper part of the body, let's decide about the lower. Does it help you to hold space with feet together, knees wide? Go. For me, the answer is no. So I'm going to extend the right leg to straight, left leg in half butterfly. Do you want to join? Let's use our energy to create, not to worry, to get anxious, none of that. So part of that is just being aware of the breath, close the eye. And then let's begin from the bottom of the pelvic floor. Inhale, pull the breath up, let it go to the belly. Past that, lifting the chest, open the rib cage, pause. Exhaling back down, should it be done out of the mouth? Bottom of the exhale, can you find a little bit more to release? Continuing this play, inhaling. Pausing, exhaling. Becoming empty, pausing at the bottom. Inhaling when you're ready, noticing where the inhale travels. Pausing at the top, letting go through the exhale. The bottom of the exhale, could you squeeze out a bit more and pause at the bottom. From the bottom all the way to the top, inhale. Pause at the top, relax the shoulders, the jaw, exhaling back down. Continue this play of breath on your own. Can you hold space just for 20 more seconds? And then on your next exhale, no need to rush. If you have the feet together, could you press into the feet to extend the legs? If you're doing half, off you go. When you're ready, left hand overhead, roll towards the shoulder. Ha ha ha. And as my favorite private used to say, my poor little wing, you killed my wing. Take out the shoulder. Ow. Does it help you to join me? I'm just gonna twist, so right knee across and slowly circling. If you prefer to do something else, please do that. Ouch, 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 ouch. And go slow. How is the circle? So just like we do internal hips versus external hips, and some of us are better at one or the other, when you're done with 3 circles, switch directions. Same for the shoulders. Anything for me that has to go in that kind of rotation that we just did is pure hell. The next one we're going to do for my body is much easier. So notice for you. When you're done, we're going to return back to the center. Let's just begin with the feet down, knees up. Got to take off the watch. From here, take your left hand overhead and lift your head. Now, with the right hand to the left elbow and the head lifted, work the hand down the back. And really, you guys, manually walk your fingertips so you no longer can. Then bring the head back down. Some students are super tight here, so it helped them to keep the right hand to the left elbow. Do you need to do that? If the answer is no, do you want to release the hand into cactus or just straighten it out? If you're already restricted here a lot and notice is anxiety coming up, is grief, should you stay? If you're okay, do you want to extend the legs to straight or feet together, knees walk? Then the same thing, you guys, as much as we do shoulders to ears and handstands, it's not good for life. So close the eyes back in. Just take note, where am I holding tension? How does this rotation feel on my shoulder? Then return back to your invisible helper in your life, your breath. From the bottom, inhale up. Could you inhale all the way up to the sternum, opening the rib cage? Pausing for a second at the top, lifting the chest. Would it be helpful to take exhales out of the mouth? The bottom of the exhale, could you let a little bit more life go? Continuing this play from the pelvic floor, inhaling up. Soften the jaw. Exhaling down. Inhaling. Exhaling. And continuing this play. So my feet are together and my knees are wide. But what I tend to do for my lower back, my hips, as I'm tighter, I actually roll the hips forward a bit so the lower back lifts a little. If you're tighter, explore this and see how it feels. And then our time is up, so just slowly lift your head to take this out. Okay, respect your body and do what you need to do. If it doesn't work, what I'm going to show you, take something else and then join in, okay? Otherwise, stick your hands up like this. Do you want to keep the hip opener? If you're in it, I'm going to stay. Then left elbow on top of the right elbow and just let it drop. You could play with this, you guys. You could take the elbows up higher or keep them lower towards the chest, up to you. And close the eyes back down. I do this quite often. What I love is when you're ready, take an inhale and just notice how the chest lifts, how the arms respond. Pausing at the top, exhaling back down. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. And one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. And release. So before we switch sides, if you're in the hip opener the whole time, could you still stay? My hips are starting to scream, so I'm going to get out. Do you want to get out? Just hands to the thighs, feet down, knees up. And it could mean that you end up going back in, just maybe give it a break. Giving it a break for me means a few things. You could keep the knees up. Sometimes I like to take the feet as wide as the mat and drop the knees towards one another. I wouldn't stay the whole time, but it does feel nice. How about you? Or you could straighten out your legs. Let's begin again. So right hand overhead when you're ready. Lift your head and take your time, you guys. Left hand to the right elbow to really just walk the fingertips down the spine as much as you can. When you're done and you bring the head down, each side is different. Is it helpful to keep the left hand to the right elbow? If the answer is no, I don't need it. Do you want left hand in cactus? Or I'm just going to straighten my neck. Close the eyes, refine the breath. So from the bottom of the pelvic floor, especially as you investigate where the tension lives in the shoulder, begin to inhale up the body. Did the chest lift, the rib cage open? Can you pause for a second? Exhaling down the body. At the bottom of the exhale, could you squeeze out a little tiny more exhale? Could you pause again? Observing the breath travel up, inhale. The chest lifts, the rib cage opens, pause at the top. Exhale, begin anew, breathing back down. The bottom of the exhale, squeeze out a bit more. Inhaling up when you're ready. Pausing at the top, exhaling down. Pausing at the bottom. Inhaling when you're ready, up the spine. Pausing at the top. Exhaling down. Stop at the bottom for a second. And then continue to display your breath. When I began learning how to get out of anxiety and breathe, pausing at the top or the bottom would actually make me anxious, like I couldn't get breath. If you're new to that pause, know it's normal, observe it, you're fine. Everyone's obsessed with how long can I hold a handstand for? I'm obsessed with how long can I inhale for? How long can I exhale for? So much of being present and at peace is knowing where your breath is and the quality of it. When you're done with your next exhale, let's slowly lift the head to take out the arm. Ouchies. Is there something personally that you prefer to do before you join into our counter pose? And when you're ready, taking the hands up, cross the right elbow over the left. And then just allow them to drop, giving yourself a hug. I'm keeping my elbows down this time because of the mic, but do you want to keep yours up in line with the shoulders? Take them closer to the forehead or down. Then be fascinated, you guys. We come into this world with that breath. When life leaves us, there is no more breath. Get to know it. When you're ready to inhale, notice how the arms, the chest respond. When you're ready to exhale, notice the body becomes empty. We'll continue this play. If your mind is wandering, listen to the breath, inhaling. Exhaling. And then when you're ready, undo the hands and take a second. How are the legs? What situation are you in? In the hip opener? Should you take the hands to the thighs? Yes, or anything else? Ouchies, ouchies. Then when you're ready, roll to any side. We're gonna do the stretch we did at the wall in the first class, so no need to rush. I'm by mine, but you need to go to your wall. So this one, go to the bellies. And then remember, if it's too much, I'll demo it really quick. You could just come up to the knees and you control it. So closer, knees closer to back off, knees farther back to go deeper. Most of you are at belly status. So start to take the hands up. We know that the body is going to try to achieve this through the elbows, right? So if your elbows are going towards the pinky side of your hands, could you simply pull the elbows down towards your mat? Then maybe elbows more in line to your thumbs. I'm okay now because we did the first class and I felt pretty open, but if I was to just do yin, I would most likely need to take my feet as wide as my mat or wide. So observe how is your lower back. If you need space, take the feet wide. For those feeling good, tuck the toes, push through the heels, giving the lower back some space. And then begin to bend your knees. How does this feel? Do you want to stay or no? Thank you. Now that we've done the setup, release the head fully, expecting the forehead to touch the floor. And most likely will not. How are the elbows? Are they behaving? Do you want to slowly release the neck towards the right or the left if you tend to hold tension there? And then with the eyes closed, let's return back to the breath. So take an inhale, push the belly towards your mouth. Pausing, notice how the body responded to that. Exhale, let it go.
How did the body respond to the exhale? Continuing inhale, filling up. Think of sending the inhale through your whole spine. Exhale, letting go. Maybe the head releases a bit more. If you feel more open, you can walk the fingers up. Continuing your inhales. Pausing, letting go through the exhales. One more breath, inhale. Exhale. Notice, is the head closer to the floor? How do you feel now versus when you started? And then let's begin to release the legs if they're bent. Slowly take out the arms. Ouch. So because we're lifting the hands like that above the head, ouchies, I want to counterpose with the opposite way. So take the right hand when you're ready in line with the shoulder. Turn your gaze to the left and begin to roll to that hip. As you tuck the chin to the chest, are you okay? Do you need a block for the head? I love multitasking. I know it's bad, but I do. So multitasking here for me means, could you keep the left leg straight and walk it away? So now we're getting the shoulders, but the whole spine. If the answer is no, bend your knee, place the foot down. Stay with the left hand forward or just take it behind. Like we did earlier, could you walk the left fingertips up the spine? Make sure the neck is not getting involved. Same thing, begin to inhale because of the positioning of the rib cage. Do you feel the expansion and the opening? When you're ready, exhaling. Notice it may be a little harder to exhale here. And then when you're done with your next exhale, let's slowly roll back to the center. No need to rush. As you're ready, extend the left hand. Turn your gaze to the right and start to roll towards that hip. As you tuck the chin to the chest, you need a prop. Could you walk the leg away and keep it straight, or do you need to bend it? Right hand close or take it behind. And walk it up the spine again. Close the eyes. The positioning of the stretch is already going to help with the inhale. So just do your job, take full inhales up. Exhale as you're ready. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. Continuing this, inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And let's start to slowly come back to the center. So from here, Up to you. The breath should calm you down. So if you're like, I need to chill out for a minute, make a pillow for your head, maybe bend the knees. Otherwise, let's try Sphinx, go to the forearms. So do you want to bend the knees? And if usually you feel crunched like I do, just tuck the toes, literally push through the heel so the whole pelvic floor lifts, bend. Otherwise, do you want to look at where your elbows are, release the legs, and take your hands where the elbows are. From here, turn your fingers out of it. I love the decompression that this offers the lower back. Return back to the breath. How's your neck? Do you want to do chin to chest, lifting up? You guys, you could also explore, like my hands today are off my mat. That's just what feels better for me today. So explore if you want to do that wider as well. I like with this pose to tuck the chin to the chest and inhales and fill the back body up. As I exhale, I lift the head and I exhale out of the mouth. Is this something you want to explore? If so, chin to chest, inhaling. Pause, lift the head, open up the mouth, exhale. One more breath, either this one or your own, chin to chest if you're joining. Inhaling. Pausing, head up, open up the mouth, exhale. And slowly lower back down. If you want a minute here, stay. Otherwise, we're gonna do puppy dog. Just slowly come back up to the hand. We're only gonna do a minute. Do you want something for the knees or are you okay? Then again, if you lack space from hip to armpit, just where I started, hold the front of your mat. Or sometimes if you wanna do arms straight. Otherwise, I kind of like to begin the same way to find this extension, stay, or from here, take your hands into prayer. As you take the hands into prayer, could you walk the elbows forward more? Forehead down or chin. Do you want to guide your thumbs towards your upper back? Right now, for me, holding is a little bit held because of the damn power washer. So if you're tighter from manual labor from life, you could lift up a little. Then on an inhale, try to go back into the pose. If you need help, exhale, lift up a little. Inhale as you bring the upper part of the arm down, stick your butt out. Do you notice the similarity between this and the standing wall puppy that we often do in the first? If there's tension, try not to fight. It's all of you. And then let's slowly walk the knees in to come up. Meaning, don't fight with yourself, okay? It's your body, your breath, your everything. Feet together, knees wide. Do you need a blanket for child's pose? Yogi's choice. How's life going? Should you just chill out? This is great. Do you want to continue because you need shoulder stuff? Left hand forward. Thread the right arm under. So as you bring your left forearm down, bring your right ear down. Honestly, I just love staying here. I don't really like going past it. I kind of like taking my left hand in and resting my head on it. Usually a dog will come by and lick my face, but I locked him up in the kitchen today. So do you want to stay? If you want to keep going, lift the left hand up, make sure it's not from the ego, turn it away. As you bend it at the elbow, could you grab the right inner thigh? For me, to gear, so I'll just grab my spandex. Lift the shoulder, lift the elbow. Close the eyes, find the breath. 30 more seconds. Are you okay in the position that you chose? Do you need to switch arms? And then if you are in that half bind, slowly take it out. When you guys are ready, come on up. I usually will just pause in between sides. Sometimes we need to do a funny little hip thing if they're tight. Then I'll usually ask the questions, do I feel open enough to take the knees wider apart? Listen to the body, depends on the day. Stay if you're staying, or let's continue. Right hand, take it forward. Left hand, thread it under. As you bring the right forearm down, could you bring the head down? Does it need a prop on this side? If you're somewhere at a happy medium like me, just slide the right hand and then rest your head on it. I'm not going past this. If you want to, reach the right hand up. Take that half bind, either grabbing the thigh or the spandex. Now, again, be fascinated by the breath. On your inhales, notice that the rib cage open. Can you exhale all the way back, down, especially if the hips are tense? Can you hold space for 30 more seconds? Slowly use your hands. Let's start to come on up. Now we're gonna lie onto our back, but we need to find a bolster first. So as you find your bolster, just take the feet in front of it. As you begin to lie back, are you okay, or do you need something for your head? And then feet together, knees wide. Most of you, I don't think will be here, but if you're tight, you can. Otherwise, most of you, I think, will have the feet and the knees on the bolster. Some of you, whether it's now or later, if you want to keep going, push the bolster forward so the knees are hanging out on that. Sometimes I can hold space right away. Other times I have to do a few bounces, like so, or like moving side to side like this. So give yourself the permission if you need that. Then depends, you guys. Do you need grounding in your life? Could you take a blanket and place it on top of your head? Are you anxious? Cover yourself with something. Let's continue. Once you do that, the breath. Sometimes I like to hand to the outside of the belly button and I just breathe into them. Other times I take one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Which one helps? Just use these as guides. When you're ready, inhale, fill up the lower part of the body. Continuing that inhale, fill up the upper part of the body. Should you open up the mouth to let life go? Every time a thought enters, I just think I'm pushing it away with my breath. Inhaling. Exhaling. Notice the expansion through the inhale. The body closes back up as you exhale. As you continue display of the breath, how is the neck? Do you want to slowly release it to one side or the other? If this works for you, you can try it. What I'm doing is when I inhale, I turn my head, let's say to the right. I'm gonna do it now. And as I pause at the top of the inhale, I turn my head back to neutral and exhale. I'm pulling on my left side and my dog was sleeping on top of me. God forbid if I move it. So if you're having any next step, turn it to the left if you wish, taking an inhale. As you pause, you could bring the head back to neutral to exhale. You're just creating a little bit of movement here. And one more minute if that works, you could continue. And totally up to you. I've stayed in this pose for 20, 30 minutes. I first kind of have to like cuss in two languages to release the hips and find some space. So do you want to stay here longer? If you're okay, slowly hands to thighs. Let's begin to extend the legs to straight. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. How do you feel? As the legs go to straight, for me, I often have to lift up my pelvic floor, send it forward to readjust. Do you need to do any readjustment? Then you guys, could you just leave your hands alone and let gravity take care of it? So take the hands up, palms up in line with the shoulder. Draw the right thigh to the chest. Now, don't think so much straight leg, just think, could I keep my thigh and my chest close together as I slowly take the right leg up? Let it bend at the knee where it needs to. Let it go off center if it needs to, meaning more towards the right shoulder. Closed eye. At times, if I'm holding so much, like right now, my body's already starting to shake, I just do little bounces. Does that work for you? If you need movement, just please move slowly. Just tiny little bounces. Hopefully after a few of these, you can settle in and be still. As you close the eyes, how is the neck? You need to lift it, tucking the chin slightly to the chest or using a prop. If you're beginning to shake like I am, welcome it. Tension is leaving the body. Do not hold on. Do not grip your hands. Keep breathing. We have about 20 more seconds. My foot is kind of fractured, so I'm going to do some slow ankle rolls. What's happening with your ankles? If there's a lack of mobility, anything happening here? Do you want to do some slow moving circles? This island has humbled me. Step my foot, nail through my foot, fracture it. It's been one of the most amazing and tough experiences living here. But never have I been more grateful than I am now. Now let's slowly release this. Draw the right thigh to the chest. First, give it a hug. How does it feel? As you send it back to the bolster, take a second Check in with the pelvic floor. Do you feel even? For me, I often just kind of lift the legs and send them forward. Take any adjustments you may need to. And then when you're ready, return the hands, palms up if that worked for you. Or do you want to explore taking them overhead? Left thigh to the chest. Don't think you necessarily need to have the left leg straight. Think about keeping this and slowly extend. If your left leg is wanting to go more towards the left shoulder, allow that. I want to scream. This is my tighter side. So instead of screaming, I'm just going to do little bounces going there, body. You're okay. You need this as well. As you close the eyes and breathe, check in with the neck. As you breathe and tell your body you're okay, hopefully you can begin to settle into the pose. Now I'm beginning to shake, so I have to make sure I'm not gripping the hands or the jaw. How's it going for you? Do you want to continue staying, or as you have about 30 seconds left, do you want to join me in slowly taking some ankle circles? Just as we're doing with the rest, you guys sing the same thing, just fully circling the ankle. Remembering that there's two sides, you can do that. Be fascinated how the calf responds and the hip. And let's begin to draw the thigh to the chest. Give it a hug. And then from here, slowly release. Second, notice the pelvic floor. How does the right and the left side of the body feel? Without needing to rush, bend the knees and just push your bolster off to the left side in case you need it for the next pose. How is your lower back? If you're feeling tight, tense there, don't cross the right knee over the left, okay? Just keep the knees together, no crossing. Otherwise, if you want to advance, in a second we'll cross. So let's begin like a bridge prep, feet down, knees up. Lift your butt up, move it to the right, bring it back down. Either just lift the legs up and drop them to the left, or take the right thigh on top of the left thigh. And then same thing, drop them to the left. Before you do anything else, you guys just lift your head. Is your hip and your head in the same line? If it's not, move the butt to the right more. I'm in a weird in between. So what I do on this side is I take my left arm like this and I just let my knees rest on it. And that's enough of what I need. Do you want to place a block there? Do you need the bolster? But if you're going to use the bolster, I would probably suggest backing off and not doing thigh on top of thigh. For those that are feeling more open, an hour later, you're welcome to lift the knees higher up to the left shoulder. Release the gaze to the left. I'm using my left arm as a prop, but if you're not, do you want to extend it? Definitely take the right hand and extend it in line with the shoulder. Do you want to keep it straight? Do you want to explore bending it at the elbow? As you close the eyes right away, noticing the twist, it's harder to breathe. You're squeezing the internal organ. How is the lower back versus the rib cage? If you're more tense in the upper body, focus on each inhale, pulling the breath up to the rib cage and expanding. If you're having lower back tightness, digestive issues, each inhale, keep it in the belly, just push the belly forward. As we've been doing, pausing for a second, exhaling, is it a better choice to exhale out of the mouth? Slowly gonna come out. If the lower back needs some support, please engage the glutes. Otherwise, just inhale. We're not gonna switch sides right away. Ouchies. We're gonna do a 1 minute counter pose. So first, move the butt to the left to find center. Heel toe the feet together and take the right ankle on top of the left thigh. If this is enough for you, stay. Otherwise, create a supine double pigeon. So just heel toe the left foot towards the right, heel toe, and now until the leg comes down. I was fascinated. Some students, their right knee went all the way on top of their left foot. My right knee saying buenos dias to the ceiling, okay? If you're in my position, does it help you to roll the hips forward a bit? If your right knee is down on your ankle, well, good for you. Congratulations. Don't be another pose that you'll have tightness in. Closed eyes. Right away, I feel like I want to brace myself. So I'm going to take one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, and breathe. Relax the jaw, the shoulders. You're dealing with hips. Keep exhaling. Take a second, you're not in a rush. Slowly start to come out of this pose. Sometimes you're fine and you need nothing. Other times I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a lot and I need windshield wipers. Like so that was an external rotating pose. Windshield wipers are internal. So do you need a few of these? Sometimes the knees need a release if the hips are tight. Do you want to take those? Take your time, and then when you start to feel like you want a little bit of that, do you think you need the bolster for the twist? If so, locate it and move it. When you're ready, let's take the feet together, knees up to the ceiling. Does the lower back need protection? Engage it. Otherwise, lift the butt and move it to the left. If you're doing knees together, lift them, then drop them to the right. Otherwise, left thigh on top of the right. Twist. Let's lift our heads to make sure we do indeed have the hip and the head in the same line. Oh, I have to move mine over to the left a bit. How about you? This side, my knees can come down, but I feel the pulling in my left QL. So I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna take my right arm and rest my knees on. This works for me. What about you? Do you need a block? Do you need a little towel? Could you release the head to the right so the neck doesn't get involved? Now, left hand palm up or both. Sometimes I love bending at the elbow. Other times, like right now, I can feel it straight. I don't need to move any deeper. So do you want the arms straight or bent? Close the eyes. Do you need to take a magnifying glass to feel tension, or do you feel right away? If it's the rib cage, if you inhale, expand there. It's the lower back and abdominals. Each inhale, isolate the breath there by pushing the belly forward. We always feel better when we can exhale, and on the mat that shows up literally through the breath of the exhale. So exhale. We're going to get ready to come out of this pose. How is your lower back? Should you engage the glutes or simply inhale back? If the legs are crossed as you undo it, or even if they weren't, you need to move the butt to the right to find center, most likely. I'm fascinated by twists. I'll usually stay in one for 5 to 10 minutes. Just feel the left and the right side of the spine and imagine staying in one much longer. Yes, we get tense through life, but we can also create space. Don't forget. Let's heel toe the feet together and take the left ankle on top of the right. Is this enough? Continue, just heel toe the right foot towards the left until it drops down into that double pigeon. On this side, my left knee is not going towards the ceiling. It's going down a bit more. Do you notice the differences for you? Does it help to roll the hips forward, to maybe do little gentle bounces here? Internally, my body's like, mother trucker. It's not going to help to cuss, so I have to locate where in my body is that pinging to my head. My left outer hip. If it's not comfortable for you, locate that trigger point. Go back to what does help, closing the eyes, inhaling and exhaling. Slowly come out, and as you're coming towards the end of class, what would you do? I would do legs up right now. What is it that you need to do? Does the body feel like it wants to do another yin pose, and do you have the time? Does it want shavasana? Does it want legs up at the wall? Or is it feeling like, yeah, I want to take a meditation? Nice, Tina. Listen to the body, close the eyes. Please resist the urge to check your phone, to get on the computer. Give yourself a few minutes closing the eyes and resting. Thank you for spending the day with me. Until we meet again, may we all be at peace.